Boom, baby. We are live. Welcome to Interview with the Man. And we have a very special guest today. My brother from another mother. This guy's seriously, good Lord, this guy's got some serious pimp game. His name is King Dre. He's going to be here in a second. But in the meantime, don't forget, April 29th, we got some big things going down. Pay attention.
There is a man whose sole purpose is to empower men with truth. And he is viciously taking out evil forces set out to harm men, one by one. The power of his army grows by the day. He's created a team of trained experts in all disciplines: masculinity, cryptocurrency, dating, combat, fitness, psychology. His one goal is to free the minds of as many men as possible, and he's accomplishing that goal. Now, he's assembling new members of his team, and recruiting them has begun. He and his army are unstoppable.
Who the hell are you supposed to be?
I'm Supreme Leader.
You're part of this too. How am I part of it? You'll see.
Don't forget, the red pill is truth, and the truth always wins. That's why we are winners, and they are losers. April 29th, Masculine Empowerment Network. Get on the waiting list today. As of yesterday, after our fantastic dismantling of the drunk, alcoholic, scammer himself, John Anthony Lifestyle, his career is done, okay? He's going to need to start selling coconuts in a favela to make some money over there in Brazil. We've got over 300 people live on the waiting list, and we got our special guest here. Mr. King Dre is in the house.
Hey,
King
what's
Dre,
up, man?
how are
doing,
you? We
man?
are live right now, just so you know. We are live.
Okay.
So glad to talk to you, man.
Hey, what's up? Yeah, man.
Dude, okay. So for you guys that don't know, dude, you may not know this, but I am a huge fan of your TikTok. Your
real?
TikTok that's why I reached out to you. I was like, this motherfucking guy. Like, people need to hear what this guy has to say. How are you doing this
Right.
morning?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. A little early for me, but we up.
Yeah. Got to get it going, right?
Yeah.
Where are you at in the world exactly?
I live in Florida, Tampa.
Oh shit, I'm from Florida too. I didn't know that.
Really? Really?
Yeah.
I've been all over Florida, but I'm born and raised in Tampa. Lived in Miami for a little bit.
Okay.
But yeah, born and raised in Tampa, Florida. Where you at? Where you from in Florida?
Born in Miami, raised there for 13 years, and then we moved from Miami to Orlando because Mama didn't want to raise no drug dealer.
Yeah.
So.
Right.
But I've been to the casino. I've been to the casino out there.
Oh, really? Yeah. I used to go a lot when I was younger, bro.
Dude, so look, let's talk about this, okay? You, in my opinion, your game is some of the tightest I've ever seen.
Thank you,
And
thank you, thank you.
and game recognizes game. And
Right.
I just wanted to personally, this is 50% selfish for me. I just wanted to get to know you and kind of just get your story out there, but also, you and Offie Kingdom are some of like the most underexposed guys in this corner of the
Yeah,
internet.
that's my boy. Shout out to Afi.
Offie's a great guy,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I just wanted to get your story and kind of hear like what you're about. How did you figure this stuff out, and just what's your thing?
Well, I mean, it, it's it's probably, I don't know. I want to say it's hard to believe, but I've been like this my whole life.
Hmm.
Just stuff you hear me talk. I've had the same thoughts. I've been the same way my whole life since I started dealing with girls at 12 or 13 years old.
Hmm.
Um, I come from an environment where this is the mentality. Bitches ain't shit, and fuck these hoes. These hoes only want your money. I grew up hearing this stuff as a kid in music and the neighborhood and stuff like that. So when we came to age, this is what it was.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? And
What'd
that's
you
not to
listen
say
to when you were younger?
my first rap album that I like fell in love with. I fell in love with rap because I heard the older people listening to like all of the New York shit and Run DMC and all those people. But me personally, the first tape I bought with my money was 1992. I was 7 or 8 years old. Dr. Dre,
Mm,
the Chronic album, and
yeah.
then after that it was 8 Ball and MJG because I'm from the South, so we big 8 Ball and MJG fans.
Yeah.
And they was talking about like pimping and shit like that on that CD, on that tape. So as a kid, this is this type of shit that I'm listening to.
Yeah.
It's when you think about it back, when you in hindsight, it's kind of horrible, right?
Right.
The type of shit that kids are or were listening to, but it's just what it was.
You
So yes.
are you,
Oh,
are
go
you a
ahead.
fan of 3 6 Mafia? I love
Oh yeah,
fucking
of course. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. When I got in high school, they started to they was getting big around like 97, 98,
Project Pat and
99.
them.
Yeah, hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Yep. Some of their shit was so gangster. I forget what the name of the song, but like I think it was Project Pat, where he's like, at one point he's like, make money, get fucked up, treat women like
Yeah.
trash. I was like, God damn.
I have a tattoo on my arm, right?
Uh-huh.
This tattoo stands for make money and dick them down, right?
Mm,
This was our little crew in high school. That's what I'm saying. We were always this way, you know. Um, and then when I got on the internet, it amazed me that how much people didn't know. Because in my little world, I'm thinking that everybody is like me. I'm thinking that the whole world is like me. But when I started like seeing stuff on the internet, I'm like, hold on, wait, this is crazy. This is crazy. The amount of people who think differently and who like put women on a pedestal and
yeah.
who treat them like they God's gift to earth.
Yeah.
But I just noticed it's like a lot of cultural differences.
Yeah. Did you grow up poor?
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't like my mom wasn't on crack or nothing like that, but
Yeah, no, neither was mine.
fairly, yeah, we didn't have it all.
Yeah.
We
I
we didn't
I
have it all.
I grew up really poor too, and I think people, you're familiar with red pill, blue pill, right?
Right, right, right.
Right. So I think that people who are blue pilled, I think to be blue pilled is a luxury. It's a byproduct of having a safe environment because
Hmm.
because I grew up in pretty shitty areas too. I grew up in Hialeah in Miami,
Oh yeah, yeah.
and then we upgraded from Hialeah to Homestead, and
Oh
so
shit.
we grew up in some fucking ghetto ass areas, and then we were living out near Pine Hills in Orlando.
In Orlando, yeah.
When I was in middle school and whatnot. So I think like when you grow up poor and the family life is not as stable as like a lot of white people and growing up in white picket fences,
Right.
like these suburban households, I think those people have the luxury of believing the blue pill lies. But I think like when you grow up poor, you're kind of forced to deal with reality at a
You
young
have to.
age.
Yeah, you have to deal with poverty and you have to deal with poor-minded people.
Yeah.
So this is, you know, you see the world for what it truly is
Yeah.
when you really don't have anything.
So
You
how
see
old are
the
you?
way I'm
Oh,
36 right now.
go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh no, I was saying you see the world for truly for what it is, the way people treat you, the way women treat you when you don't have money, and when you get a little bit of money, how girls treat you when you have money versus the guys that don't have the guys in school that don't have money. It's just it's a weird dynamic.
Yeah, no, it's money. It's funny, man. Like, you know, a lot of these chicks, they on the front end, right? Like, I have a friend of mine, and you know, you're American, so you know what VH1 is, right? So some of
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
the other guys they don't know. But I had a friend of mine, and he was on a VH1 reality TV show, Master of the Mix, right?
Uh-huh.
And he was only on 8 out of 10 episodes. And you know, he was able to DJ an event, and he got a really good picture of him and 50 Cent. Like 50 Cent in this DJ booth smiling next to him, and he's smiling, and he's DJing like a fucking primo photo. And
Hmm.
he got a blue check mark on Twitter, right?
Right.
He put his Twitter link in his Tinder profile, and I'll never forget this. And then he put like on the Twitter, it had a picture of him and 50 Cent, and then he had access to his YouTube and just showed his promos and all that shit. And the guy would get so many girls in his DMs, right? And that's not the point here, but there was this one girl, right? Her name was Zoe. And on
Hmm.
Twitter, she was like, fuck the patriarchy. All men are shit. Fucking men are just the piece, like, you know, fuck white men, like just that really,
Yeah.
really woke white girl shit. And he was showing me her text messages to him, and he really didn't want to see her, and she was texting and texting and texting him. And at one point, this is a diehard feminist. She says, "Okay, look, here's the deal. I know we've never met, but I want to meet you so bad. I'll just come to your house. I'll suck your dick, and then I'll leave, just like
Yeah,
that."
it's crazy. It's crazy.
And like the girls, once you have a little bit of money or clout and they want you, they'll do like that's why, you know, these girls will do anything. That's why when they tell you, "Oh yeah, I missed your text message. Oh, my phone was dead. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm busy." When they tell you shit like that, I'm just like, "No. No, you're
Yeah,
not.
yeah,
You're
you're
full
right,
of
right.
shit."
It's bullshit. It's bullshit. Yeah, man, it's weird, man. You know, a lot of people in the environment, I don't want to say wild, but a lot of rules don't exist. So the women are a lot edgier. They're a lot like what guys see about women today. We've been dealing with women like that from like neighborhoods and like in poverty and shit, especially in America. Now I know in other places poor women don't act like that. But in America and the type of system that we have and how women depend on the government and shit like that,
Yeah.
um, we've been seeing this shit as kids. Our moms and shit was like this. You understand? So,
Have you traveled outside the United States?
I don't know if Puerto Rico count, but even that was a different world to me.
Mm. Puerto Rican women are mad feminine.
Yeah, that was a completely different world.
Where did you go?
San Juan, and then we went. I don't know the place. I don't know the name of the place, but it was like the L. It's like L something rainforest, like that area, that whole
Mhm.
little area. So I went to San Juan, and in
Mhm.
that area, my one of my homies, one of my friends, his baby mom lived down there, and
Okay.
so we went out there for like a week, and then he was driving me all type of fucking places.
Yeah, I liked it when I was down there. I was only there for a layover,
Hmm.
but I was there for 4 hours. But I went to like just a local shop. I had some food, and like even the girl that was working in the shop, and I wasn't even trying to spit any game or be anything, but the girl that was working in the shop was just like so feminine and so
Yeah, it
nice to
was.
me.
Yeah, it was crazy, man. It just to see the difference in and like how the women reacted. And I know that's U.S. territory, but it's a completely different world.
What do you think happened? Because I feel like you and I, because I'm 35. You were
36,
84.
84, yeah,
Yeah, I'm
84.
85, so I'm 35 years old.
Right, right.
So we're like basically same generation. You class of '03 or '04?
Oh, 03.
Okay, yeah, I'm '04. So I feel like you and we got like the last taste of like decent American women. I'd
Yeah,
say like American women kind of went off the deep end like 2000. 12 is when it started to go pretty bad.
Yeah, it went to shit, man. Yeah, I mean, you've always had your dirtbag women, but um, I think with the rise in social media and women being able to connect with different ideas that they were never exposed to, and I'm talking about like feminist ideals, because most women don't claim to be feminists, but they have feminist ideals,
Right.
like that thought process and those ideas and theories are, most women have those, but I think once this message was able to reach uh, a broader audience of women, I think that's what happened, along with them having options like crazy. So
Yeah.
you have that, and then you throw in the fact that their women are able to compete at the same level as men economically. So
Right.
now you have, it's just a you have feminist minded women who don't have any respect for men, and they have options galore. So
Right.
you got to kind of be a monster to even navigate and deal with these women.
I think too, one problem is they have, excuse me, they have a lot of options, but I don't think they really have a lot of options. I think they have the illusion
They
of
do, right.
they
You're
have a lot
right.
of options.
Right. See, they of course we as men know that most dudes don't give two shits about them, but in their minds, they feel like they do.
Yep.
So if I'm treating a girl like shit, right, and she sees 100 guys in her DM say, "Hey, take me out, take me out, let me take you out, let me take you out. I'll eat you out from the back. Oh, let me worship the ground you walk on." In her mind, she's like, "Well, I don't need your shit. I look, there's a million guys who love me." Versus back in the days, you can get like with your age and our age group, you know, we can get away with a lot of shit when it comes to like women. We can flake on them and string them along and do all type of shit, and a woman will stick with you forever.
Yeah.
Nowadays, it's not like that.
Yeah.
If you don't even like, if your fucking tires are dirty or some shit, and women like, I don't need this shit.
Mhm.
You don't have the right size bed. Women will come in your house and be like, I've never call him again. Versus back then, a woman basically had to like get up and leave the house and make herself pretty to get hit on by women.
Yep.
So
Oh yeah.
that was I mean, it was a gift and a curse, because if you got game, it made it a lot easier. Like I tell guys, it's a lot easier to get laid than it was
Oh,
15, 20
dude,
years ago.
nowadays, because you know what it is, man. Obviously I live in Tokyo, Japan, right?
Uh-huh.
And so yeah, I just saw the writing on the wall, and I just said, "Fuck this, dude. There's no way I'm wasting my sexual prime in
In
in this
America.
yeah, fuck that noise." So I bounced out. Um, but the thing is this: American women have literally reduce themselves to sexual objects. Like that's all they've done. Because this is what happens, right? Oh, well, baby, I make money. Well, fuck you. I don't need your money. I make my own money. Okay, cool. Like, well, you want to like cook for me? Fuck you. I'm not your mom. I'm not gonna cook for you. I don't need to cook for you. Like, you help me clean up my house? No, fuck you. I'm not gonna clean. I'm not your maid, right? So, okay, well, you want to massage my back? No, fuck you. I'm not your slave. So, all right. So, what have you reduced
Whatever.
yourself to?
Well, what else you good for then?
You reduced yourself to a fuck stick. And
Right.
so what American women's game is, and it comes back to bite them in the ass, right? Their game is just give pussy and take pussy away. Give pussy, take pussy away.
Right. Yeah, yeah, hey, that's a fucking bar right there. That's exactly their game. That's all they have. Like,
Yep.
um, but the thing is, it, like you said, it bites them in the ass, because this pussy, although in our space you see a lot of guys struggling, but it's nothing to get pussy. Pussy is like water; it's everywhere.
Yeah.
So you reduce yourself to be uh, just as common as water. Versus, smart women understand uh, a man's mind. They understand his ego, and they can play on that.
Yes.
The common man, but you don't really see that nowadays too much. I saw a post on Facebook yesterday, and this girl was like half naked, and she posted herself like half naked. And she was like, "I just don't understand why I'm single." And in my mind, I'm thinking pretty girl, sexy girl, but in my mind thinking it was almost sad that the women don't even know their value. See, I know their value, but I'm not gonna tell you. I'll just exploit it, but
Yep.
I'm not gonna tell you, but because I know how to extract the value from a woman. But it was just sad to realize that women don't even know the value that they have outside of sex.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And then when a high value man comes around, right? And these girls, what's funny is like American chicks, they are so fucking lost. They are lost, man. It is sad. It's sad, but like I like a sick part of me enjoys watching them suffer. Like, because like they treated me like shit when I was younger. You know what I mean? Until you got some game, until you got
Yeah,
some shit about you. These girls are ruthless,
yeah,
ruthless, bro.
yeah.
And so, like for example, do you remember shit, what's his name? He was part of the big three on Golden State Warriors. He had the big nose. Not Durant, not Curry.
I
Ah,
don't let you feel.
he got the curls and his nose kind of big. He's half black, half white.
He played for I don't really follow basketball like that, but if you say the name, I might if he was like big.
Somebody in the chat will help me out here in a second. I know my chat is faithful. They're educated guys. There you go. Clay Thompson. I think it's Clay Thompson. Yeah. Clay Thompson. Okay. So Clay Thompson, right? Clay Thompson was like married to thank you so much, Artemis. Thanks, bros. Um, Clay Thompson, right? He was like engaged or married to like some chick who's like a fucking YouTuber, right? It's like
Uh-huh.
her thing is like I'm big on YouTube, and he just won the first championship against the greatest basketball player of our modern time, LeBron James, right?
Right.
And he cheated on her, right? And she was like, I don't get it. What the audacity of this guy to cheat on me? How dare he? Blah, blah, blah. What a piece of shit. And it's just like, lady, this guy is a fucking global superstar. You are a YouTuber. Like, like, no shit, he's gonna cheat on you, right?
Right, right.
And when that happened to me, it just like was a very big aha moment for me to realize like these girls, like they just don't get it. They don't
Right.
understand men. They don't understand being feminine. And another thing is like these high value men, right? For me, for example, right? And I don't want to know if this is the same situation for you, but for me, like if a girl wants to stay around, she cannot just bring pussy to
Right.
the
Of course
table.
not. Of course not.
That's
No.
like that's like paying admission to get into the nightclub. Like no
Right.
shit, I'm gonna get some pussy. But
Right.
what else can you do? And like, don't tell me this bullshit. Like, well, I have good social skills, and I have empathy and shit. Like, no, you know what I mean? Easy, you're laughing because you know what I'm
Yeah,
fucking talking
yeah.
about.
Right.
um,
Yeah, man. I've always been like that, man. My first girlfriend spoiled me, man. I think it was like 12 or 11 or something, and she bought me. She used to just buy me a bunch of shit, man. Um, Like she would call up the radio stations. I know you remember back in the days with the radio station, the girl would call like the night show and give their boyfriends like shout outs and, oh, I want to give a shout out to such and such and such. And that was the big shit. So she used to do this for me all the time. And she would buy me like all the like tapes and singles. Back they had the cassette tape singles. So if a
yeah,
song that I liked, um, if I liked the song, she would buy this shit and just like bring it to me in school and shit. So that she kind of set the foundation for how I thought that I should be treated as a little kid. So as I got older, I kind of always required. And then I started learning, like really learning how to get inside the head and play them and shit like that. And I
right,
understood what drove women crazy, and I understood what made girls like actually really like you. So I started to play on that. So I always would require women to do stuff for me. Like
yeah,
I was not the type. Of course, I have there's the couple women who really get to you and then you'll do anything for. You have that. But most girls in my life, I would require them to basically prove themselves to me.
yeah, yeah. I told a friend of mine, right, the other day. You ever seen the movie The Dark Knight with the Joker?
No, I never saw that movie. I'm
Uh,
not a big movie buff or like cartoons and shit like that. I never really watched that type of stuff. People think I'm weird, but
no, I mean everybody's got their thing. Um, well, there's this one scene where Joker kills this mob boss, right?
mhm,
And he catches the last three of his henchmen, right?
right.
And he's like, "All right, guys, well, we have room for one of you." So he takes a pool cue and he snaps it in half and he throws it on the floor. He's like, "We're gonna have tryouts." And he wanted, they had to kill each other for one to survive to join the team. And I told my friend, it's like, this is what I typically do with my women, right? I make them. I need to see some allegiance. I need to see some loyalty. I need to shed
Right,
blood for me, not literally, but you know what I mean.
right.
I want to see that. And when you're when you're a high value guy like us, like all you like, I'm pretty sure you got a team of girls right now. I got a team as well.
Yes.
All my team could be wiped out. You give me worst case scenario 2 months, the team will be restocked. I'll be fine. Guys like
Yeah,
us,
yeah.
we're never gonna worry about pussy the rest of our life.
Right, right.
And I think it comes with a mentality. Sorry, I'm drinking a bunch of Coke Zero. I'm burping over here. I wanted you just now mentioned says you understand how to get into their mind, what makes them obsess over you, and you mentioned like things that you really understand about female
Right.
nature. Would you mind sharing that with us today?
All right. So basically, outside of basic attraction, of course, you look good, you smell good, but like to get into their minds, like my dad taught me this when I was young, as a kid, man. Women have huge, fragile egos, right? Now the key is to not you want them to chase this ego, but not so much that it turns around and bites you in the ass. And that's a lot of mistakes. That's a lot of the mistake that a lot of guys make, a lot of rookie guys make. And I made this mistake too, getting women to chase their ego, because once they start chasing their ego too much, it stops becoming about you. So the key is to get them to serve you, right? And people become like I say, outside of attraction and being masculine and all of that. The
Mhm.
key is to pretty much get them to serve you and invest into you. It don't have to be money, but it can be time, or make them making sacrifices, or just bringing you shit or gifts, or whatever. But when people serve you, they tend to be loyal. When you
Yeah.
think of service and you think of people who serve, like you look at police officers, right? Those are some of the most loyal people to what they do, because they train you to believe that you're serving, right? The same
Right.
with the military. You see guys, Vietnam vets that's 80, 90 years old, and they still have the hats on with whatever division that they served in and shit. What these institutions understand is that it's service.
Yeah.
And so when you take this and you apply this to women, the game gets you start to crack codes and shit, and you start to understand how they truly are. They built to serve you.
Yeah.
This is nature. But the thing is, um, throughout society and throughout time, we've evolved to serve them, right? So
Yes.
most
Yes.
people and most guys are thought, okay, I serve, or let me do for her, let me try to make her happy, um let me see what I can do for her. And it doesn't work. Of course they appreciate it, they get gifts and shit, but this is not how you penetrate them.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? When I was young, I was a teenager, man. We used to do, and like a lot of the stuff that I talk about now, I talk about it like with integrity, because I can be a dirtbag. I can be like the dark game and all of that. That was my whole thing. Like I used to like, my thing was almost like to take advantage of women when I was a younger and a teenager and stuff. So we used to like if a girl wanted to see me, right? This when I was like 18. If a girl wanted to see me, I would make her buy everybody in the house. Like I had like 4 or 5 roommates, right? You know how guys just live together and shit. And I would make her bring everybody Taco Bell or buy whatever. You know, if you
Mhm.
want to see me, this is what you have to do. Or bring everybody something to eat. Or if a girl would tell me, "Oh, I love you," so I love you so much, I would say, "How much do you love me?" Oh, I do anything for you. Okay, well you gotta fuck my homie. Like little sacrifices when they make. I swear to God, bro, this is what we
You
used to do.
that hit me out of left field. Wait,
Yeah,
so before they would fuck you, you'd tell you got to go fuck my friend?
yeah, not before, but just like after. Like I would already be fucking her, and they they want to pull out. Oh, I fall in love. Oh, I love you so much. Okay, well then prove how much you love me, right? Oh, I do anything. Okay, well, let my dog get some of that, and they would do it. But
Wow.
them making sacrifices like this, and it's not like I was gonna wife them in anyway. Like
No,
I
I
didn't
love
really,
it. I fucking
I
love it.
didn't. I don't teach stuff like this nowadays because I know guys are irresponsible, just like
Yeah.
I was irresponsible. But just them making that sacrifice and them giving their bodies and doing things for you that they've never done is enough to have them. You pretty much own them at that point, and that was my whole. I don't know where that came from. I don't know. Maybe I have used to have a sick thing back in the day, but this is how we used to do. So, like I said, I understood the power of getting them to invest in you through,
Dude,
like I say, whether it's their money, sacrifice, all type of shit. Nowadays, I make them do it a little different, but that's just what it was, and we did that as kids,
dude,
man.
I love it. I love it. No, you know, and like I said, this is exactly my intuition was right about you just by checking your fucking TikToks and stuff. It's funny that you mentioned that. I actually saw this today on Instagram. I want to show you this real quick.
Okay.
My buddy, his name is Vince, and he's a seducer himself, and
Uh-huh.
he ties the women up. He does BDSM. He
Right.
ties them and he spanks them and he beats them consensually. Like they legally sign documents. They're like, you can beat the fuck out of me and I won't press charges.
Right.
And he posted this today. It says, also, of course, serving a man, particularly in small and humble ways, probably for biological reason, tends to be sexually arousing for women. Many men, I think, fail to understand that. And I think
They do.
that's mind blowing that you just told me that. And literally, you could see 17 hours ago, right here, he posted this.
Yeah, that's
Um,
crazy. A lot of
I
guys
honestly,
don't understand that.
they don't. No, listen, there's a chick in my life, right? And recently we had like a little bit of falling out, and I said, you know what, I'm just sick of your shit, and I went ice cold on her, bro. And she came back, right? I seen her after a while, and she had gotten a crazy amount of pimples. I've never seen her in 4 years. I've never seen this many pimples on
Hmm.
her face and shit from stress. And what happened was I gave her the axe and I fucking, I just was ice cold. I just cut
Right.
off everything, just cut off the source. And when she came back, man, I could tell that she felt relieved, like she had her life purpose again.
Right. Right.
You
Right.
know what I mean? And
Right.
a lot of guys, they did like a lot of guys like, I just want to fuck her and be done with it, right? And that's fine
Right.
if you want to do that. But if you wanna get up in here and control them, listen, I tell us all the time. My kingdom of riches was built on the back of whores.
Right. Hey, listen, man. Most people, guys who are rich and successful, built it on the backs of whores, man.
Yep.
And not necessarily in a pimp type of thing, but you just got to learn how to extract the value from them, and you have to understand their psychology, understand what they like. Women will gladly serve you, man. Even those independent, and I'm just super feminist and strong and independent, and I don't need no man. Even those.
Yep.
Um, and guys have to understand this more so nowadays because you have to be this way nowadays because they don't need you for anything else.
Yep. There
Versus 50 years ago, you can get by with just having money and taking care of a bitch. That is out of the window now. So you have to get up here. And if you're gonna
yes.
keep one, you have to. It's mandatory.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, for guys like us, high level men, me personally, like, it's a waste of, like, don't get me wrong, I'll do it from time to time, but it's a waste of my valuable time to clean my house. It's a waste of my time to cook
Right,
my meals. It's a waste of my
right,
time to do my laundry. And when the girls come over to here to my house and they delight in it. They are happy. They're like,
right,
and then I think a lot of guys don't understand this when it comes to pimping girls out, pimping the minds, is the power of praise. The
right,
next day after they do that, I just say, hey, listen, I'm smelling this laundry. It smells so good. And look at
Right.
this shirt. And I take a picture. I said, this shirt looks so good. I can't believe you ironed it so well. Thank you so much, baby. I hope you have a good day. And people be like, oh, you fucking simp.
I
What the
gotta listen.
fuck?
I
You
got a
know?
video coming out, right? I'm gonna do probably video this week on Saturday about how to make girls truly feel special. And a lot of guys don't even pay attention to what you said. Most guys think that you make a woman feel special about buying her flowers or, doing stuff for her. You make her feel special by knowing that she contributed to something great. Like you
Yes.
said, you put on a nice shirt and you like, oh shit, baby, like, and she feels special because she got to do something good for somebody. That's how you truly make a woman feel special.
Hmm. And the thing is this too, when you praise them, especially because we live in such a negative society, right?
Right.
That when you praise them and you're a high value guy, when you take that away, some of these women have like mental breakdowns. Like
Yeah,
they
of
need to go
course.
to therapy and shit like that. So, I mean, I think me, Dre, personally, bro, when I meet these girls, I'm evangelical about my cause. I
Right,
let
right,
them know, like, listen, I am fucking cryptocurrency genius. I
right,
am a leader of men. My community, I'm literally turning men from blue pill simps into red pill millionaires. I said,
right.
I am changing lives out here. I'm doing great things. Like, yeah, cool. You like what do you make? You make $60,000 a year and you fucking check spreadsheets all day. Cool. Like nice soulless job,
Right.
but I let them know like I am evangelical about what I'm doing. And I like if they are not on board with me, I kind of look at them. I'm like they're stupid. I'm like, oh wow, like you don't get it, do you? You
Yeah,
really don't
yeah.
understand.
Right, right,
And
right,
so I think that's a big difference there because a lot of guys and what we're talking now is like really, really, really deep game.
right.
But I think that, you know, it's I think this used to be common knowledge to an extent. Do you follow Professor MGTOW on Instagram?
Um,
He's a black guy.
maybe.
He's a
I think so. It was a couple of them. I think so. I
he's
think
pretty based. He's pretty fucking gangster in
I,
his
I, I
thoughts.
think I do. It's not. I don't really pay attention to my because I got a personal Instagram that I always and that my Instagram is just for like my work and shit. But I have a personal one that I usually be on. But the people that I follow on Instagram, if I don't like know you like Afi or like you, I know I follow you.
Right.
If I don't know you, I don't really pay attention. So
Okay,
um,
bet.
I don't. I think I do. I think I talked to him before and everything. I'm just
He's
not sure.
he's in tune with that old school masculine mentality and how like, basically dude, I just don't think women are equipped to lead their lives independently, and the data is becoming more and more evident. Like
Right.
2/3 of all student loans are owned by women. uh I think women earn $18 trillion globally, right? But
Shit.
they spend $28 trillion
That's crazy.
globally.
That's crazy.
They I think you watch the Fresh and Fit podcast?
Oh yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah, Myron
yeah. I fuck
was
with
one.
Myron.
Myron was one of my students in my first course
Oh,
in
for real?
2019. Yeah. And then we kind of got him up and going on the social media thing, and he's a genius. He took off, and now he's blown up.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
I like Myron and CEO.
why don't you go down there and like go on the show? They would totally have you.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't reach out to people like that, man. That's just
You
I
should. You
know I
got pimp
should. I
game.
should. Yeah, I should. But I just come from a world where just like I'm, trying to adjust to. I come from a world that's not, where you're not friendly. It's not cool to be. It's for in your best interest to be not so friendly. But I'm learning that that's not the way that you should
Yeah.
be. You have to network and things like that, and reach out to people and shit like that. But yeah, I fuck with Myron. I've
Yeah.
talked to him
No,
before.
I truly think your game is totally slept on, and that's why
Appreciate it, bro.
I saw your post. Actually, can you help me because I want to show somebody. Will you talk to me about? I want to talk about this chasing egos thing that you mentioned because I want to ask more about that. But I think it was this one right here. Yeah, 6 days ago. I'm gonna share a clip from your
Okay.
Instagram, from your TikTok, and I
Okay.
want to talk about it because I really, your
All right.
TikTok is fucking amazing.
Appreciate
Okay,
it, man.
it's this one right here. So take a look here, folks. Pay attention, guys. Turn up the audio.
Even though I don't want a second date, I get really offended when the other person doesn't want one.
It really blows my mind at times how you guys are struggling getting your rocks off and taking them to Pound Town. These chicks are literally making it easy for you. They are literally on here giving you the game for free. They telling you what the fuck to do, and you're not paying attention. What this chick basically said was, get them to chase their ego at the very least. That's literally how easy this shit is, man. At the very least, if you can get her to chase her ego, she'll give you a whole bunch of kitty cat in between. And she don't even gotta like you like that. They like to preach this male ego, male ego. Well, newsflash, they have huge egos, fragile ego, and they will do anything while they're chasing that ego to satisfy it. So at the very least, get them to chase their ego. It's that fucking easy.
I think that I saw that. I was like, this motherfucker needs to come on the show. Could I've been saying it for a while, and I tell the guys in my community, pay attention to social media. These girls stay snitching on themselves all day. They
don't even try.
They give the game away, and they don't even care because they just want fucking clout. They're literally red pilling everybody.
Right.
And what's crazy is I actually just found out this the other day on TikTok. I want to talk. I'm going to mention something I found out about my TikTok that happened the other day. But I want you to please elaborate on the chasing her ego. Could you? I think that's a great concept.
Now, like she said she was saying in the clip, in her whole clip, she was like, I hate when she was like, what's something that drives me crazy? She was like, I can go on a date with a guy and not want to go on a date with him ever again. But the fact that he doesn't mention that he wants to go on a date with me drives me insane, right? Women will break their necks and give you head and sex and money in between just to get you to validate them.
Yeah.
And it's not even validating. It's not even that they need your validation in that sense. It's just that, how dare you not like me? This is their ego talking. How dare you not like me? So all you basically have to do is be nonchalant and get them to figure out, well, what's wrong with you? Why don't you like me? Oh, you don't like me? Let me see if you like me after I suck your dick, right? Of course they're not consciously thinking of this, but okay. Oh, well, you're not you're not into me? Oh, you sure you're not into me? Okay, we'll see when I come over there and fuck you backwards, right? Oh, you still not into me? Well, how about I give you my paycheck and we'll see how much you like me then, right? That's at the very least. Now, I try to get guys from playing that game, because usually, right, and I learned this the hard way as a kid. Usually, when you have women chasing their egos, the treatment that they give you, it feels good, right? And so we get attached as men. We get attached to the femininity, the submissiveness. We get attached to that. And once the woman catches up to you, once she sees that chink in your armor, she's gone.
Yeah.
Right. And it throws us for a loop. So I try to teach nowadays the proper way to do it, the proper way to get her soul, the proper way to get inside of her mind. But I made that post because there's a lot of guys like, man, how do I do this? How do I do this? And I just got tired of it. And I saw that and I'm like, she just told you what to do. Just act like you don't fucking like the bitch.
Yeah.
And then she'll try to, in an effort to get you to like her, she'll do everything in between.
Let me tell you about a story I had recently, right? So I've been involved in cryptocurrency, and this year it's been really, really fucking insane, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I haven't had a lot of time to like go on dates and shit like that. And so I finally got some time this last week, and I had 4 dates lined up in a row with 4 different girls, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the first 3 dates, I'd been rusty. I hadn't gone on like a new date in like about 3 weeks to a month, right? So I got a little rusty, right? And I'm not trying to act like I'm some superhuman ultra player over here. Like I got rusty, and if I get rusty, I do bad. So I went on 3 different dates with 3 different chicks, right? And dinner with all 3 of them. and I fucking struck out with all 3 in a row, like day after day after day. And I noticed that I was like being, because Japan and like society, like it's like you're supposed to be really polite, but I think I was just kind of being a little too polite, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so on the 4th date with the 4th chick, right? I was just so fucking frustrated because my ego is involved, and I was like, God damn it, like the fuck, this is some bullshit. I'm the man. This shouldn't be happening to me.
Right.
So the 4th date comes around. She hits me up. We're supposed to meet at 6 p.m. She's like, hey, I'm at the fucking hair salon, and I don't know if I can make it on time. So can I meet you there at 6:30? And I was just like, I've been going to the gym daily too, so my testosterone is like through the fucking roof.
Yeah.
And she asked me, she's like, so can I go there at 6:30? And I was straight up just like, no.
Right.
That's all I said. No. and honestly, part of me was like, just fucking cancel, bitch. So I can like just get a power nap in, fucking drink some protein and just get on my shit, right?
Right.
And then I got so tired of like kind of being fake on the dates too, like pretending to be interested. And I kind of lost a little bit of like, kind of like lost a little bit of myself. Trying to like, just get some pussy and kind of to an extent sacrificed my belief system, right? So we're at the spot. She shows up on time. She's like, God, she's like, I've never met a guy like you who told me no like that. And
Yeah, they love that shit.
and then I was on the date and she was really boring. And so at one point during the date, I just took a drink and I said, so are you usually this boring? Cause like, this is fucking like, I feel like I'm doing all the work here, And she was just like, God damn motherfucker. Like, what the fuck kind of guy is this?
Right, right.
And then I told her, I said, you should order some more drinks and get a little drunk so you could be a little bit more interesting. I was like, you're really nervous too, and it's bothering me. And I was just like, because I just did not give a fuck. And I was so fucking frustrated at this point, right? Girl ended up coming back with me to my place. And, it went down. And we had some fucking ferocious sex. She was like wanting me to like choke her and slap her in the face. And I love doing that shit. So I was choking her and smacking the shit out of her. She said I smacked her so hard her fucking ears rang. Knocked her equilibrium out of bitch. But yeah, and now that you mentioned that to me, and I think it's because, everybody's so nice to them and everybody's so, oh, girl, you're so like, I saw a bitch a couple years ago. She ripped off a poster of Donald Trump, put it on the floor, and publicly shat on the poster. People were like, oh my God, you're so brave and stunning, girl. Like, this bitch just, you literally publicly shat. And like, she's being praised for it.
Yeah.
And so I think what you're saying now, it makes sense. So chasing the ego means not giving them validation and making them go.
It's not even necessarily validation, because guys get caught up in don't validate women. It's more so about, I guess it is validation, man. But it's more so about women have a lot of them do have like esteem issues, but they want to believe that they are better than they are, right? And when you don't treat them like they're better than they are, or you don't treat them like the 15 guys that just hollered at them, or you don't treat them like the 15 guys in their inbox, it fucks with their ego. It's like, well, why? Who do you think I am?
Yeah.
Well, why? But the only way that they can get your attention is to be feminine and submissive. They kind of get in their natural state, which is to be submissive and feminine, to get you to break. They're trying to break you.
Yeah.
There's nothing, if you want to see a girl suck your dick, can I curse on here like that?
Fuck yeah.
Okay. If you want to see a girl suck the soul out of your dick, if she tell you that she love you, don't say it back. And she'll suck the fire out of you. She may not even like you like that, but she'll do that just to get you to satisfy her fucking ego.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, guys have to be careful with playing that game, because we tend to, like, feminine women is like a masculine man's kryptonite. And if you're not used to that, a lot of guys lose their girls like that. If you're not used to, women being soft to you and shit, with me, I've dealt with this my whole life, so that's nothing to me. But if you're not used to that, it makes you weak, right? And once she satisfies that ego, if you playing the ego game, once she satisfies that, then she starts to pull back. And now she's satisfied, she starts to pull back, and she starts to take her ball and go home. And now you are like, what happened? I need my drug back. I need my drug back. I need my drug back. I need that feeling again. And you go out like a sucker, and you go out being weak, right? Because now you chasing your shit now.
Yeah. That's
So
fucking so good.
you gotta. I like I said, I made the post because I was kind of frustrated with all of the fucking questions, and then I saw the girl, and I'm like, the bitch just telling you what to do to get some pussy. Just she in her head, she don't even like. I probably got so much pussy like that just being nonchalant. Bitch probably just there for a free meal, and you just act uninterested. And she's like, well, I don't like him, but why he don't like me? Who is he? Okay, we're gonna see, and
Mhm.
you can use that to your advantage.
Mhm. Yeah. It's I mean, it's hilarious just to see that, and I really think it ties into, like, everywhere they go, they're just getting validated by everywhere.
But
They go,
you know the crazy part about that. Sorry to cut you off, but you
"You're
know
good,
the
you're
crazy
good."
part about that. This always worked. This always worked because my dad actually taught me this when I was like 15 years old. He taught me how to do this. And that's another story for another day. Or we could talk about that later, or if you want to get into that, like more.
I got all the time in the world,
But
player.
but my dad actually taught me that. Like he taught me like how to pull back away from women. Like you get around them, you're nice to them and shit, and then you kind of, you pull away from them, and just their ego can't take it, right? And they want to know what happened, and they start chasing you, and they treat you a lot better and shit. But so that worked even back then. Um, More so now because they have guys treating them like kings and like they fucking God's gift to earth, and then when you don't do it, it stands out. But even girls who didn't get a lot of attention back then, even girls didn't get a um a lot of validation from guys. Because remember, back in the days, a woman literally had to get outside and go out and go to bars or go out to parties to get guys. Like
Yep,
she had to be out and about and make herself look good.
yep.
Um,
She had to dress
but
up, she had
she
to
had
be
to dress
skinny.
up and all that shit. Exactly, skin. You remember bitches was like back in the days. You remember they had this whole anorexia thing where like bitches was literally making themselves barbs and becoming bulimic just to be attractive.
Yep,
That's the game was like that back then.
the good old
Um,
days.
the good old fucking days. They would do things, but now the attention, right? The attention, the attention. I think the attention to them does something to them. I think this gives them like dopamine and serotonin and shit. I honestly believe that because,
Yeah,
like I said, even back in the days, this worked. So maybe you know our attention does something to them, and then when you take that away, they go crazy about it.
yeah,
Even if they don't get attention like that.
yep.
Because I was doing this type of shit in high school. I would start talking to a chick or whatever. I was, this is dirty as shit, right? But I would start talking to a chick, start talking to her, vibing. Everything would be going good, and I would just start pulling back. I would start pulling back, and she would be like, "Oh my," they'll be calling you. You don't answer the phone. Then they may show up at your mom's house, or they may show up, or and then you just sit down and you look them in the face, say, "I don't like the way you're doing such and such." I don't. And you playing a game, but this would drive them crazy. I just feel like you ain't going hard enough,
Yeah,
right? And they would go crazy and like just go overboard with it.
yeah.
But
Or
it's just that.
if you
Oh,
tell
go
them,
ahead.
like, if you tell them, like, for example, I had a girl before, and I was trying to get rid of her actually, and I said, like, I like you and all, but like you're a little fat, like you got to lose 20 pounds. And I thought that she would just be like, all right, fuck you, but she lost 20
They'll
pounds
do
in
it.
1 month. In one
They will
month.
fucking do it. They will do it, man. It's almost like it's powerful, man. It's dynamic. That's why I'm so into it. This dynamic of male and female and how we basically like live for each other's validation, man. Like,
Yeah,
um, males too, but I try to teach guys how to numb that and replace this need because I think it's almost natural on both sides, but unfortunately, guys like me know how to exploit this from women who don't know any better and shit. But
yeah.
um,
I'll
Yeah,
say
man,
this
it's crazy.
too. I'll say this too, right? Because you and I we're a little bit older. In regards to younger chicks nowadays, because dudes have become so soft that these girls actually they don't have really good game. Like when they meet a
No,
guy like us, like they can't beat us
they
because
can't.
they're sparring with fucking retards.
Right, right. Like I had this one girl, right? A chick was probably like 20, 21. This was about probably like maybe 7, 8 months ago. This chick was like 20, 21 years old. So she had at my house. And I was texting now older woman know not older woman have game enough to know like we just started dating or we just started fucking. Let me not take you here. But I was texting somebody I was doing something on Facebook or in a message and this little bitch, right? This little chick like stomps around in my house and like get an attitude and she just storms out and shit. So she texts me and she's like, "Oh, next time you want to text, while I'm there, maybe you have something to think about." I didn't respond for a few days. I didn't respond to her because I'm like, if you had any game, you don't even know who you fucking with. You don't even know who you dealing with. Like you just lost your meal ticket
Yeah,
by even acting like them in my house over some
yeah,
bullshit, right? So I didn't respond. So she hit me back and she was like, "Oh, well, when you're ready to talk about it, I'm ready to talk when you're ready to talk." And then in my mind, I'm like, "Bitch, who the fuck do you think you even talk? Don't even who do you think you talking to?" Long story short, I don't respond. So now she's with the I'm sorry shit, like what did I do wrong and all this. But I didn't even respond anymore. But it just goes to show you that they don't even know how to that shit will work on one of them little goofy ass dudes. You know what I'm saying? Like little shit like that. Most guys would be like, "Oh, what's wrong? Oh, I'm sorry. How can I fix it? Don't act like that. Don't do me like that." No, bitch. But see, older women who have game, they know not to even come at a guy like that. Like,
yeah.
a guy who got his shit together, who he's established, he's obviously can replace you at the drop of a hat. You know,
Right.
these chicks, these younger chicks, man, and a lot it's like not balanced, man. There's so many guys that to treat them a certain way and they think when they come at a guy like me that I'm just going for that. No, no,
I
man.
think I think there's so many examples out there too of these girls like they like I said, I fundamentally believe in my heart of hearts that these girls are lost and they are craving masculine guidance. Like,
Hmm.
look at the number one romantic book sold of all time, 50 Shades of Grey. Dude, my main girl over here, she literally lives in the middle of a rice field in the fucking countryside of Japan.
Hmm.
Okay? She has read 50 Shades of Grey.
Damn,
They translate it into Japanese and she read the book. Okay?
damn,
And the story is of a fucking dude tying a bitch up and sodomizing her and just doing the nastiest fucking shit to her ever,
damn.
completely degrading her. And what do we have now, right? If you look at Pornhub, do you know that they've done studies and women are looking up increasingly violent porn because the only place they can be dominated right now is in the bedroom.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You know,
That's
I think
crazy, man.
I think a lot of them are craving it, and that's what I'm saying when they get because for me, like I'm a gorilla pimp. Like I do not play. I don't beat a
Right.
bitch, but like I will fucking if she doesn't do what I say, I'll be like, well, you know what? That's why your eyebrows look like shit, and that's why nobody likes you.
Right.
And she'll go home and she'll look at her eyebrows and cry for like fucking 3 hours, and come back trying to get the validation that she seeks, right? And all that really does though is get her more invested in me. And I always see them like when I see the girls like trying to fight, it's like a little fly in a spider's web and they're like, and like, and
Yeah.
then you're just getting tight, they're getting tighter and tighter and tighter in the fucking web.
Right.
So, I mean, it's high level game. Last year, I was supposed to come out with a course talking about shit like this, but really, like, I thought about the liabilities too, because, like you said, dude's irresponsible.
Yeah.
I taught one guy in China how to do this stuff, right? Because I figured, okay, he's in China, like the shit can't come fuck with me. The girl went nuts when he broke up with her, and he sent me a photo because he called me frantically when he dumped her. She took a razor blade and she cut "I love" this guy's name in Chinese in her arm and
Shit.
sent it to him. And he said this shit to me. I was like, got him on the phone. I was like, bro, I fucking told you not to abuse this shit.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
here you are. And you know, it's like with this kind of great power does come great responsibility. And like I'm
Yeah.
trying to figure
That's
out a
why I
way to
don't. That's why. Yeah, I feel you where you're going. I try to, because then you'll have a whole class of men treating women like shit, and I don't want to.
yeah.
I don't want to, especially women who are not as tainted, because I know, just being mature about it. I know I've scarred a lot of girls, man. Into what people see now, these rough chicks who have walls up and shit. Like guys like me are.
The Chinese guy there.
Oh, that's what's up. That's what's up, man.
Oh God.
Yeah. So yeah, I feel you. Like I try to teach stuff with integrity, because there is a right way to do. There's a way that you can do things without having like the negative effects of things, and
Right.
dealing with the negative consequences that come with shit like that. But yeah, man, it's crazy. It's just it's mind blowing that guys don't understand this type of stuff. It's just,
You know, there's an older video, and do you ever watch WWE back in the? I know you don't
man, that
watch.
was my shit. Hell yeah, man.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all I watched a long time ago. That's where I got my confidence and my swag from, man.
Who was your favorite
Watch
wrestler?
Mr. Perfect all day. Like
Oh,
yeah, that's
really?
my boy. Yeah, like just the swag he embodied, man. Just like I wanted to be just like him as a little kid.
I was a Shawn
Actor.
Michaels guy. I
Yeah,
loved
I like
Shawn
him too.
Michaels.
Yeah, I like Shawn Michaels too, but I don't think nobody could fuck with Mr. Perfect. Mr. Perfect.
He was funny, man. I mean, look, the late 80s, early 90s is probably the best fucking wrestling ever.
Yeah, yeah, man.
I'll say this, right? So in regards to fuck, where was I going with that? Shit, I've lost my train of thought. All right, it'll come back to me. There's another thing I wanted to talk about here, right? So
Okay.
you talk about girls snitching on themselves in social media, right? And like, I think the best platform right now for social media, red pills, is TikTok. And I want to share this right here, because if you take a look at this, okay, so I actually went like mini viral on TikTok, and I only found out about this the other day, and I
Mhm.
want to show people this right here. Okay, so this is a clip from me here, and you'll probably notice a pattern with these chicks, but this is one that posted this stuff most recently, and take a look and listen to the clip here.
And she will fuck you. Number 3, if she has an excessive amounts of tattoos, this is 100% a woman with mental problems. 9 times out of 10.
And if you look at the caption, you're not wrong, right?
Right.
And if you take a look at all these other captions here,
If she has,
there's a let's see, this one right here.
and she will fuck you.
He ain't wrong.
Number 3.
And if you just look through all of these, a lot of these chicks, they were just talking about me.
And she will
mental health problems.
Number 3.
Mentally unstable. It goes on and on and on. And all of these chicks here, they straight up are telling me like they agree.
And she will.
You know what's crazy?
What's that?
It's crazy how they treat certain people and treat like just the way you delivered it, right? Because when I said that, I went viral for that. They came for my fucking head. They came for my neck when I said that.
What did you say?
Basically how to spot a chick who about that life, like who's down to, if she has multiple visible tattoos, that's usually a sign that she's about that action, right? And a pimp taught me that a long time ago.
Yep.
That's how they used to pick their girls. Like that's how they used to pick girls to turn out. They would look and see the tattoos.
Yep.
So I always knew. Oh, go ahead.
What I think it is, and guys, I put the TikTok clip in the chat there. Oh, that's a really long one. Let me find a shorter version. If you guys want to watch all of the TikTok clip of me there, but what I believe it is it's a form, because look, girls who are super sluts, they hate themselves, in my opinion.
Mhm.
And because they're just giving away part of themselves over and over again. And then the tattoos, excessive tattoos, tattoos are a form of self-mutilation. Okay.
Mhm.
And they did a study as well that girls, they said that the majority of people who or a large percentage of people who got tattoos also had a history of inflicting self-harm, cutting themselves with razor blades. And I know people that used to take a nail clipper and a clip up their shoulder and like just really do some really crazy fucked up shit to themselves. And I think that this ties into a red flag for women, because
Yeah.
you don't want that in your life. Like, imagine if you love somebody and you have to deal with like, oh God, did I leave the knife out at home? Is this bitch gonna fucking, cook a salad, then chop her fucking wrist as well? Just having
Right.
to deal with that. And again, it's a very uncomfortable reality, but people just want to be in this kind of snowflake culture. Like, I don't want to deal with reality. I just want to be
Right.
perfect and safe, and everything I do is right, and anybody who criticizes me is wrong.
Right, right. Yeah, they came for my neck, man. But basically, I was explaining another element to the tattoo thing, because even I have tattoos, like on my arms and stuff. I got them when I was a teenager, but tattoos, they represent rebellion, especially back then. More so now too, because like I say, um, uh, 10, 15, 20 years ago, it was you know, like how you were saying, it's like psychological issues. Even
Yes.
more so now, but it also is like a rebellion thing. And the first way women learn to express rebellion is sex.
Yes.
When girls, teenage
Yes.
girls, they want to start rebelling against their parents, you start to see a little tramp stamp or a boob tattoo, and that is usually accompanied by sex. So I was just explaining this on TikTok about because guys always ask you, well, how I know if my girl is a hoe, or how do I spot girls? I want to be a casual dude, I want to be a player, how do I spot the girls who down? And so I just made a video explaining, and I like to, instead of just saying shit, I like to try to give a, like, I try to like explain it so you can understand it and understand why. And so I just like I explained on the video,
Mhm.
not too much of the psychological issue, but the rebellion part,
Yeah.
right? Because I didn't want to walk the line of TikTok get kind of TikTok get funny when you start talking about mental health and shit like that. So not just
Liabilities, legal
yeah.
liabilities. Yep.
So I just was like, um, when you have rebellion, right? When people get visible tattoos, it's a sign of them rebellion. And when you see rebellion in a woman, the first thing that usually follows is sex. They
Yeah.
came for my fucking neck.
Oh
They
yeah.
couldn't. They tried to flag it down, but I ain't having that, because I'm smart enough to know how to say things without, you know,
Yeah.
violating the guidelines and shit. But yeah, they came at me, and it's funny to see that, like, when you said the shit, it's like, oh yeah, it's true. It's just weird how they are sometimes, man. Just
Yep. I found a better way to display it. So I want to, because look, this is right here, guys. Perfect live example. Okay. Loft E Trader says, do you think they were mentally ill before tattoos, or did the slutty lifestyle make them mentally ill and then they tattoo themselves like crazy? I got an answer literally posted by one of the chicks on the TikTok. So take a look here. We're going to answer your stuff right here. We're going to red pill the whole world. Look at this. Okay. So I found a way to display it. So again, I put the clip in the chat. Just want to show you guys this. So again, right here, this girl says, I mean, they're not wrong, right? Next girl. Uh, next girl here. He has a point there. Okay. I mean, if the boot fits, baby. Okay. You're not wrong again by this chick. And then this girl right here. In my defense, I was crazy before I got these. There you go. She just snitched on herself. Again, you can see, you just gonna call me out like that, huh? Uh, I another one here. This girl, I feel seen. Memphis Maury says, I'm offended by the accuracy. 6 days ago. 6 days ago, this girl says, I'm offended by the accuracy. Okay.
That's crazy. That's insane that they like. That's crazy. That's crazy to me.
Yep. It might just be true. Come find out, says this girl. I'd bang. I would. But again, it's just like endless, endless, endless. So I think, when you because I've been saying this for a long time, and I think, the truth kind of overlaps itself to an extent with people. And you said like the girls stay stitching on themselves on social media. And that, like I said, when I watched that clip, I was like, this guy has to be on the show. And I've been saying that for the longest time. And TikTok is like, the craziest part is like you see it with really young girls too. Like, so they know they've been on the game for
Yeah.
a long, long, long time. You just send a donation to the
Yeah.
show.
You pass the collection plate, bro.
Oh my God. Thank you so much.
Get it started.
So, Fierce85 Soul, $3 super chat. Dope fella game. Please hook Dre up with Fresh and Fit. I will. Definitely will. I'll text Myron today. King Dre, the guest, you're the first ever guest on the show to send a donation. So
yeah, we gotta pass the collection plate, man. I like to call it
thank you so much.
plate.
So guys, collection plate is being passed around. Go ahead. Somebody send me $1,000. Appreciate you, man.
For sure.
Odin says, "Is this a display of Mac the Day Gamers roster?" No, like I got a friend. He's a white guy from Ireland, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I live in Japan, right? So girls who have tattoos, it's just like the hugest taboo. Like, oh my God, right? And my buddy like exclusively goes after these chicks because he knows.
Yeah,
he's like, this girl has like low IQ. She's got fucking daddy issues. She's got every kind of issue in the world. I'm gonna go after it. And he has an amazing success rate as well. So I think it's old school pimp game that it's kind of common sense to an extent. And
always the tattoos you wanna, but you can't. That's for fun only.
Yeah,
because with those issues will become your issues, man.
Yeah,
and a lot of guys don't realize that. They don't know how to separate fun and play with serious and lifetime. They like to bring the fun and play girls into their serious life, and you cannot do that, man.
No,
you can't do it.
No, if a girl wants to be exclusive with me, she can't be going out with her friends all the time. She can't drink alcohol. If a girl drinks alcohol, you cannot be long-term material with me.
Right.
You literally, you cannot. You smoke cigarettes? No. You fucking, I don't need anybody to bring more liabilities into my life. I'm a fucking businessman. I'm running a huge business. I don't need you bringing more problems to the table just for some pussy that I'm gonna get tired of in a couple of years.
Right.
So needs to be way more. Raymond Drake, $5 super chat says love from Q2. Keep up the good work, MLD. And then Know Your Worth, $5 super chat says tuition and for Fresh and Fit visit. Yeah, we're gonna get you on the Fresh and Fit podcast. You need to be on there, bro. I'm gonna hook you up.
Yeah, I fuck with those dudes.
Let me ask you this: why did you become King Dre? Why did you get on the internet and start doing this? What was what drove you, man?
Like I said, I was always the friend of the group that was taking it a step further with women. Cause like my boys, we good at knocking them down and fucking, and they have no problems with that. But they would always be like, man, what the fuck is you doing? Right. But my dad would always tell me, don't teach guys, your friends, this shit because they'll use it on your bitches and shit. And one guy I did teach this shit to, he ended up fucking my girlfriend, but that's another story for another day.
What a shitty friend. That's a shitty friend.
Yeah, man. But I've always had a fascination with the dynamic and shit. And one day I was listening to, I don't know, one of these YouTubers. It was a long time ago, and I'm not sure if you're familiar with a guy named Tariq Nasheed.
Yes, I do know him.
Well, he does all of the race shit now.
He went off the deep end, but before he was a Mac pimp. He was good.
Yeah, I started listening to him. One day I was just like, I was listening to somebody else, and then he was doing an interview, and I'm like, hold up, he teaching people how to do this type of shit on the internet. Like, this is my life. I do this shit for real, right? So I'm like, damn. So he kind of inspired me. Like he planted the seed. But this was back in like 2010. But I never really, I just wrote it off or whatever. So around 2017, 2018, I kind of fell into a rough patch, lost all my money. Uh, Everything was going bad in my life. And I was just trying to figure out, like, I was in a space in my life to where, like, I shit on all my opportunities. Um, you know, I have to, like, I got to figure something else out because the life that I used to live, I can't ever go back to that life, right? Because that's all I know. But then I don't want to be working in a fucking warehouse. I don't want to be doing anything like that. So I'm just in a bad spot. I'm probably at the lowest point in my life at this point. Um, and
2018.
2017, I think
Okay.
2017.
I got zeroed
So
out in 2018. I lost
2000,
everything.
yeah,
Lost
it was,
all my
it
money,
was,
and I was
it was
32.
crazy.
I was like,
Yeah, I was 30s.
"Fuck."
I'm like 30. So I'm like, man, this is fucking crazy. Now, if I was 21, 22, I know I got time, but I know as a 30 something, this is crazy. Like, so I'm like, man, I gotta figure something else. I gotta figure something out. So I'm like, well, fuck, I'm gonna just write a book, right? Because I remember Tariq Nasheed wrote a book about like player and all that shit. I forgot what the name of that shit was, but
How to be a Mac, right? Wasn't it How to Be a Mac?
Art of Mac, and I never actually read it, but I know he had one, right? So
Mhm.
I'm like, well, I'm gonna write a book, and I'm gonna just like, what am I good at? Like, what am I good at? Well, I'm good at fucking with bitches and shit. So I started writing a book, and I was like, you know what? How the fuck am I gonna promote the book? I gotta fucking get on YouTube and
Yeah.
shit like that. And I'm like, I don't feel comfortable because I didn't know how people would receive me because I'm rough around the edges and shit like that.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't want to really get on YouTube because I don't know, like maybe my shit is too harsh. Like I'm a Southern guy, so I still talk with a certain type of way. I still come from, so I didn't think people would receive that well, right? I didn't think people would take to that. So I was scared to like make a video and because I know in today's age you have to be have an internet presence to sell any fucking thing.
Right.
So I bullshit with myself for about a year trying to write this book, trying to write this book. Some This bitch that I was dealing with made me so mad one day, like really got under my skin. Of course, she didn't notice, but I was so mad one day, right? And I'm in the gym and I was listening to something, and fucking AMS just popped up on my when you're watching the video and it skips to the next one. I
Yeah.
didn't know anybody else outside of Tariq Nasheed who did dating shit. I didn't
Right.
know what Red Pill was or none of it. So AMS, his video was the video that I heard. I'm on the treadmill, and he was saying, you know, uh, it was the video. He was kind of drunk. He was like, "With my buy a Mercedes, I'm gonna fuck these hoes to sleep, and I'm gonna kiss. I'm gonna toss them out of to the side of the street like a." And I looked at the views. I stopped and I looked at it, and I started looking at his channel, and he was big. I'm like, wait, this motherfucker is talking like this, and I'm about to do this shit. And I went home. I went home, right? And I just turned my camera on and I start going. So he inspired me to get the courage to get it out there because he's a southern guy. He can barely fucking talk, but he got a lot of game. And I was like, this is the real shit. This is some real shit what he's saying. Because this is how I think. And I've always thought like this. I'm gonna buy expensive clothes. I'm gonna trick these hoes. They're gonna think they're gonna get the world. We fucked them hoes twice and never call them again. This was our
Yep.
whole thing. And to hear somebody saying that, I didn't think people would take to shit like that. So to
Right.
hear him saying that and to see that he was popping like that, I was like, oh hell yeah, right? But my motivation for doing it was because I didn't like what was going on at the world with the world. So that
Yeah.
was the driving force, and that's the why behind it. Because I don't like that. I don't like that women are basically have control over everything and shit is just not balanced. And
Yep.
my thing is I wanted to kind of bring balance to the world. And the way that you do that is we have to have balance in our relationships because regardless of what people want to believe, a large source of a man's confidence is how successful he is with women. It's his ability to generate resources, and it's how successful he is at mating. That's what we put here to reproduce, and we put here to mate. We ain't put here to do nothing else but to mate and to reproduce. And when you can't do that, it taxes your mental health. It's crazy how all of that is tied in. And um, I just wanted to bring balance to the things that were going on. And I didn't like just going through the stuff that I went through in my life. Yeah, I got game, you be just a player and all this shit, but we get it the worst because we deal with so many women and we deal with the worst of the worst of the women. So we was dealing with pain and shit too. And I didn't want guys to go through that. So I figured, let me teach guys how to sidestep that so they could be more confident. Let me teach guys how to get laid and let me teach guys how to get laid and be successful, at least at a situationship or at least at rendezvous and shit like that, because it adds to your swag, it adds to your confidence.
Right.
That's
Oh, go ahead, buddy. I just got
oh,
a gap. Go ahead.
oh, go ahead, go. No, I was just saying. So that's the driving force behind it. But like I said, I saw that's why I was writing my book. But I saw, I was scared to put myself out there, and then I saw a video from him. I'm like, hold up, hell no, hell no. Like that's crazy that he talking like that and it's popping. So it made me like, okay, I can get on here and be myself. So that's what I started doing.
Yeah, and I think that's a big reason for me because I grew up without a father, right? I grew up a
Right.
single mother household. My dad was a player because my dad, he was white, and my mom's from Trinidad and Tobago, and so she's
Hmm.
like Indian basically. She's West Indian, and so he was in his 40s, and he scooped my mom up off the beach when she was 18, and
Hmm.
got her pregnant, and then brought her to America. But then they ended up getting divorced, and he dipped out, and then he died when he was like 56 or something because he was smoking cigarettes a pack a day, so he died of a heart attack. Right, smoking
Right.
cigarettes for like 25 years, you're gonna kill yourself. And so really hard time with the question that a lot of men who grew up without a father ask themselves, am I a man? Am I man enough? Right. And you kind of feel like a bitch when you're raised by a woman as a man, and
Sure.
it fucks with your head. And I was trying so many ways to, I don't know, do you remember Player Supreme back in the day?
No, I never. A lot of these guys that I'm learning is because of um like getting into this space. But I only knew of Tariq Nasheed, and I heard of him from somebody else podcast or YouTube or whatever it was. Um, and they wasn't had anything to do with dating. I just like what he was talking about. So I
Right.
didn't know a lot of these people even existed until I started doing this. I recently heard of who he was because I watched your video. I think you did something last night, and I started researching him about that. He was going in on the one dude, so I started researching this Player Supreme guy
Mm.
last night, but I didn't know who he was.
So Player Supreme is just basically was old school pimp, and he taught me a lot about how to be a man and how to just go about building confidence. I bought his program back in the day called Confidence Kicker, and this was I think it was like a 20-day, 40-day program. And but it took me going from shithead to shithead, from bad person to bad person, bad advice. I was so lost in my early 20s, just trying to figure out the man thing, trying to figure out the success thing, trying to figure out the woman thing. And finally, I saw the light one day when I was 27. I kind of like woke up and I like had this epiphany, like, oh my God, I finally understand it. And then when I was 29, I started Modern Life Dating, the channel that we're on right now.
Hmm.
That was 2015. And the reason I started because A, I knew that there was so many men that needed help. And then B, to top it off, I noticed that it was so hard for men out there to find answers. And I just
Yeah,
figured I want to do the right thing and I want to help guys out. And my brand has blown up ever since I started doing this live
yeah, you're
stream. I
doing your
mean,
thing, bro.
yeah, well, I mean, I have confidence in what I do. And like I take in it, they say you never judge a student by or it says you never judge a teacher by his lessons. You judge a teacher by his students. And like,
His students.
guys around me, Charlie from Cultivate Crypto, massive brand blowing up. I consulted Donovan Sharp on a lot of his marketing stuff. Donovan Sharp brand blowing up. Fresh and Fit, Myron Gaines brand blowing up, right? Like all these guys are having massive, massive success, and then guys behind the paywall, the secret community we have. I'm seeing all these guys who don't on the internet because they got shit to lose, but literally becoming millionaires, getting relationships, getting like losing 50, 60, 70 pounds. So it really, like, when I try to walk away from this, Dre, I got a really, really luxurious job in Tokyo in 2017, working at like a Fortune 500 company. Literally, this company sponsors the 2020 Olympics, right?
Oh
I had
shit.
unlimited expense account. I had corner office. I would show my business card to Japanese girls, and it was just like, oh my God, like, how the fuck did you get a job there? You're a foreigner, right?
Right.
And it was just clout city. But I worked there for 9 months. But every day that I worked there, something was calling me, and something in my stomach, was just telling me like, you are doing the wrong thing. Like, this
Yeah.
is the wrong thing, and you need to go back to your calling. I don't believe in God or any of that shit, but like, I sometimes, like I said, for example, the fact that you brought up the serving thing, and then today I saw
Yeah.
the serving thing on Instagram, like, I believe that something
Something
perhaps is
on you.
connecting
Yeah.
us,
Yeah.
but I don't want to go down that path. But but you know what I mean? Like, I just knew I had to do this. And since I've been doing this, you know, people say that, you know, people would say like, oh, he's doing this for the money. But the thing is, the money is a representation of the value.
The
And a lot of
value.
people don't
Exactly.
realize that. Money
Exactly.
doesn't come because you're running some kind of elaborate scam, because nowadays you can't run a
Right.
scam.
Yeah.
They'll dox you on
Yeah.
the internet. PayPal will shut you down. Stripe will shut you down. The banks will shut you down. But what I'm seeing is tremendous people coming to me because the value is there. And I think so many women are lost, but also so many men are
Man, I
lost.
lost. Yeah. That was
And
that was my yeah, bro. Yeah.
it's just so many people. What's the most common thing you see when you're coaching these guys? What's the biggest problem you see?
Um, these motherfuckers got all type of problems, man, especially with TikTok. Because I was doing this damn near 3 years before I got on TikTok, but TikTok exposed to um I would say the most common thing is guys not knowing it. I'm glad you asked me that. Guys not knowing that they're a rebound, right? What happens is this, like I tell people all the time, when you meet a bitch, right? When you meet a chick, there's a 99% chance. There's a 99.9% chance that she has some type of emotional connection to some guy, some fucking where. Nobody is single, right? And if you do meet a woman who's truly single and have been celibate, you will know it, right? But then most cases that's not the case. So what happens is guys will meet a girl and they go all in, not understanding that she's tied to a baby daddy, or she's tied to an ex, or she has emotional connection to her maintenance man, or she was getting divorced. And so guys get with these girls, and a month or two in, they just go all in, they go all in, and go all in. Month 3, month 4, month 5, after the girl get what she needs, she gone, right? And it's like, damn, they like, damn, what happened? What happened? You more than likely were a rebound, man. A lot of the times, like I say, 99.9% of the times when we meet a woman, we coming in as a rebound. She's vulnerable. Somebody somewhere fucked up somewhere. Some guy somewhere for her to open herself up to receive you, some guy fucked up, right? And what happens is you go all in, guys go all in, they invest so much, and then the baby daddy call and say, hey, I miss my family. Or the ex-boyfriend call and say, hey, I miss you, I miss what we had. This is why investment is so important. This is why you get them to invest. This is how you take away, it's a process. You have to take all of that energy away from whoever they have this emotional connection to, and you have to transfer it to you, right? And over time and consistency, the girl will be about you now. And if you're better than the last guy, he won't matter. But like I said, a lot of guys, they rush into shit. They rush into shit, and then 3, 4 months later, the girl break up with them or ghost them or whatever, and they left distraught, and they don't understand what just happened. That's
Yeah.
probably the most common thing that happens. Like, oh, I was dealing with this girl. We was going good for 5, 6 months. Everything was perfect. And then all of a sudden, she just got started getting bitchy, because a lot of the times they'll get bitchy and shit and push you out of the door because they don't want to break up with you. Or they'll try to, and you don't want to get in this shit. Or they'll start cheating and shit like that. But it always happens around the 5 or 6 month mark. And usually what happens is the guy, hit her back, the baby daddy or the ex-husband or the ex-boyfriend or the maintenance guy who she been trying to, because a lot of times girls they'll be dealing with a guy who's just fucking them, right? And they trying to get the commitment from the guy, and the guy don't want to give them no fucking commitment. So she pulled back and started dealing with somebody else, right? Dealing with this unsuspecting guy. And once the player who was fucking her, once the player who was fucking her and not giving her the commitment, see that she's pulled back, when he get a slow night, right? He get a slow night, he hear her up like, I miss you, what we had and shit, and it's over for you. You understand what I'm saying? This how this shit goes. So, you know, this
Oh.
crazy, it
I'm
sucks.
laughing because
And
I
it's,
do this. I'm laughing
yeah.
because I do this. I was fucking this 22-year-old, and she was like, "Well, I gotta go to I want to go try and find something serious." And I was like, "All right, baby, go do your thing." And I said, I just said this. I said, "When he dumps you, just come back to me. I'll be here." Lo and behold,
Yeah.
2 months later, 3 months later, she's like, "Hey, how you been?" I was like, "Hey, what's going on?" She's like, "What are you
Yeah.
doing tonight?" I was like, "Just chilling. You want to hang
Yeah,
out?"
you
She's
get
like,
you get
"Yeah."
a slow night. We get one of them slow nights. We hit up old girl, and she fresh into this new simp relationship. I hit her up. It's over for him. It's over. That shit is over for him. So a lot of guys don't understand this, and they don't understand the process of taking away and getting a woman to invest in you and getting a woman to serve you consistently. This way, over time, her life becomes you and not this guy. If you better than him, like I say, when you meet a chick, there's a 99.9% chance that she has some connection to some guy somewhere. Somebody fucked up,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know? So a
Yeah.
lot of
No,
guys
listen.
don't understand
I
it.
want to ask you. Oh, I got more questions. How you got time this morning? You good?
Yeah, yeah, I mean, yeah, we going. Let's go.
All right. So Viking Paradigm sends a $10 super chat. Says I was a natural, but was blue pilled due to dad being a drunk. So I had no idea why my girl couldn't have lived with me or without me. Red pill plus pink game showed me what I was doing wrong. Thank you, John. You are welcome, my man. Let me ask you this. So you mentioned something earlier. You said you have to take the energy and the commitment that she had for the previous guy and shift that to you slowly. Now that is
Yeah,
fascinating.
yeah.
Okay. I've done that, but I'm more of a natural, so I really don't know how to quantify it
Right,
in
right, yeah,
words. Could you
right, right.
explain that a little bit more?
It's basically like what I was saying earlier. Like you have to make them do things for you. You have to get her to be about you consistently,
Mhm.
right? And over time, once she's about you consistently, then the other guy won't matter. If that makes sense. I always start small. Well, I don't smoke cigarettes anymore. I used to smoke cigarettes. So what I would used to do was like, hey, when you come over, stop and grab me a box of Newport. So, you know, um, bring me some chicken wings. You start with little small shit like that and just have them
So
do
stereotypical with that. The
little.
Newports and the chicken wings.
I know, right? But that's how. Hey,
I love it. I love it.
right.
I fucking love it.
I don't smoke or eat dirty like that anymore. But that's what I would do. Or bring me a pint of Seagrams or something, or stop by the store. I need toilet paper. Can you stop by the store and grab some toilet paper?
Mhm,
Just little small. Even if I didn't need it, just little small shit. Every time that they would come,
mhm.
we would always say, never make a bitch come without bearing gifts, and that's what we would call it. Just little small things. So what happens is she has to. This bitch may only got $30 left, but she like you, and she'll spend the $7 to get you some toilet tissue. She got to go out of her way. She got to stop it. These little inconveniences and little small sacrifices bring her closer to you because
Yeah.
she's doing things for you. This is getting her invested, and then you start elevating, making sure when she get up, she make up your bed, making sure she washes your dishes, or making sure that she cooks for you. When she does this consistently, her emotions tend to open up, and she starts to become about you. That energy that she had for this last guy is slowly, it's not about him anymore because you getting a hold of her mind now,
Yeah.
right? um
What would you say is the percentage chance of the previous guy that she dealt with is the same kind of guy like you and I? Like, saying get,
uh
putting a bitch on the
it's a
mission and
small
get
small that's a small percentage. A lot of guys don't think like that. A lot of guys don't think like that. A lot of guys don't think highly of themselves enough to even feel like a bitch should serve them.
Yeah.
So the percentage of if she had, the thing is, this is the thing, right? Let's say you meet a girl, 9 times out of 10, if you meet a girl, she's coming from a simp, right? If the simp meet a girl, she's coming from a player because she she wouldn't meet you. She wouldn't be. I mean, she would if she was just fucking or something like that, but she wouldn't be. You would scare her because you would remind her of me. So what they tend to do is they tend to date down as far as not finance level, but they tend to date what they usually not what they're not used to. And a lot of guys will tell you they've heard girls have told them you're not really my type. When you hear a girl tell you you're not really my type, that should be a red flag. You should run for the hills because the guy she was fucking with was a player, right? And she's just basically using you to make her feel better. So if like I said, it just depends on what type of guy you are. If you meet a girl, right? Like I said, if I meet a girl, I know that she probably coming from some simp and she needs something, she needs that satisfaction. If you meet a girl, same thing, but one of these sucker dudes, one of these suckers or simps, they meet a girl, she don't want nothing to do with a guy like me because I represent hurt feelings. Modern life dating represents a guy who won't commit, the jerk, the asshole, so she tends to go to what's comfortable.
Right.
Guys have to pay attention to that. Pay attention to what she's saying to you when she meets you, right? Are you the sucker or are you the player?
Mm-hmm. Goddamn, this is so much. More than this, just everything we've been talking about just validates my decision, like to reach out to you
Appreciate it,
and
bro.
like, no, appreciate you. Listen, on April 29th, we're having the Masculine Empowerment Network, and then between May 5th until the 18th, we'll be doing daily Zoom sessions, teaching the guys behind the privacy of the
Right, right,
community. Would you be
right, right.
down to come through and
Yeah,
give some lessons?
yeah, man. I'm all about helping men grow. That's all. That's what I'm about, bro. If I can save as many guys as I can say, I call myself Captain Saver, bro. You know, the guys call me. Some guys in here they know. Because that's
Captain Saver, bro.
yeah. I don't like guys going through bullshit, man. It bugs my soul, you know. So
Oh
I, I
man.
like to I like to save people, and this type of knowledge, I know I have this type of knowledge, and as if I can share this shit and help people, I know we'll be back to where we need to be eventually one day. So yeah, I'm always down for that,
Bro,
bro.
that needs to be a t-shirt. You need to wear that.
Yeah,
Captain Saver,
yeah,
bro.
it's coming. It's coming. I have logo and trademark and all that shit coming.
That is
Yeah, so
hilarious. No, that's fucking
yeah,
hilarious. Well, let me read this super chat from Bobby Sour Juice, and then we're gonna be out. Bobby Sour Juice, $5 super chat. Like Patrice's shark analogy, she's got to run off and hang out with seals before she comes out. Exactly.
yeah.
No,
I don't. I've been hearing about Patrice O'Neal. Like people like, oh, you sound like Patrice O'Neal. I didn't know who he was. Um, I didn't really know who he was until I started getting into this space. But yeah, what the guy said, they if I hurt a woman, right? If I don't want to commit to her, and I'm like, oh well, whatever, bitch, go on, and she's hurt and she's vulnerable, her survival instinct will not let her deal with another guy like me. She'll go deal with a sucker until she has the confidence and the esteem. And then 5 or 6 months later, if I call her back or she meet another player, then it's over for the sucker because that's who she likes. But once I break her heart or I bruise her ego, she don't want nothing to do with anybody that remotely even smells like me. So she tends to go to the sucker.
let me ask you this in closing. Are you familiar with this whole black pill movement?
It's the biggest crock of bullshit ever, bro. It's the
They
biggest
say,
crock
like,
of bullshit.
game doesn't work and only thing that
That's
matters are
bullshit.
looks.
That's
What's your
bullshit.
thought on that? Because I think these
It's
guys are
complete.
laughable jokes.
It's complete bullshit. I even went at it with the guy that what's the guy's name, man? I don't want to say that motherfucker's name, but you know what I'm talking about. The leader of those motherfuckers.
Yeah, the
Uh
54-year-old who
yeah,
lives at
yeah,
home with
that
his
guy.
mom.
Hey, yeah, hey, I was watching your shit and I was like, oh, this is this guy's name. I was like, how does he find this shit out? That was crazy.
You know who
Um
helped me? It was Lawrence D. Adams.
oh, for real?
Because Lawrence, I don't know if you know this, but
Yeah,
Lawrence,
I know LDN.
his hobby is actually he looks up, he finds black families and he looks up their history, the slave history,
Yeah, the DNAs and all that shit.
and public information. He's like, look, I want to show you something about this motherfucker that I found. And I was
Oh
like,
shit.
LDA, you're a
Oh,
fucking genius.
yeah. I even went I even went at it with that guy. He tried to ambush me and shit. But
Mhm.
man, that's bullshit because I personally, right, I don't I mean, of course I believe I'm handsome, right? But I wasn't I didn't have muscles. I didn't play in fucking I didn't play on sports in high school. I didn't have my dad either. I mean, I did, but it was in a sense of not like, and my dad came around, which like I said, I don't know, I'll probably talk about it in a second, but my dad came around late after I was in high school.
Mhm.
And my dad was in prison my whole life, so
Mhm.
we communicated through letters after I was in high school. So I didn't have any of this shit either. I wasn't the best dressed kid. Um, I wasn't, I went to a school and I'm from an area where kids my age was selling drugs and had gold teeth and tattoos everywhere and shit. I wasn't one of them dudes. I was, ripping, doing my little ripping and running, my little devious shit, but I wasn't these super thug, drug dealing, crack dealing kids like that. I didn't play basketball. I wasn't too athletic. I didn't have muscles. I was skinny as fuck. I still got women. I still got bad bitches. And I was able to make them. Niggas can just hit them. I was able to make them give me their paychecks and fuck my friends and shit like that. So game is everything. I don't. That shit is bullshit. That
Yeah.
shit that they talking is bullshit. And the crazy thing about it, a lot of those guys are not bad looking guys. A lot of those guys are not bad looking guys, but they have a self defeatist attitude and a
Yeah.
self-defeatist mentality, and that shit is poison, man, because I get a lot of guys that come from that community who are completely broken. You have a lot of it pisses me off, right? It burns my soul because a lot of those fucking kids, a lot of kids who don't have dads, who don't have strong male figures, they trying to find their way into the world. And then when you hear a guy like your boy, a very charming guy. He knows how to articulate himself. He's a douchebag, but he knows how to talk. He knows how to articulate himself. He knows how to charm. He's very good with oratory. So you get a young kid who don't know any better, who's trying to find his way into the world, and he'll damn near drive himself off of a bridge because some motherfucker told him, if you not 6 foot, then a bitch ain't gonna like you. If you don't have a jawline, I ain't got no fucking jawline. I got a fucking double chin. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It.
Yeah.
I'm not
It's
six
poison.
five. It's
It's
fucking
poison.
poison. It's poison,
And
and
one of
it's
the
fucking these kids up.
dude, it's sad to say, and I hate even to mention this, but one of the people that used to be humiliated by that guy on his channel recently killed himself.
Wow.
Uh, the kid named Dippin, the Indian kid.
Oh,
He came on my fucking channel and I tried to talk with him, but I don't know if it's a rumor or
I
whatever. But
remember hearing that name.
yeah, I don't know if it's a rumor or whatever, but it's been confirmed, unfortunately, a few different times, and he's not replying to my emails either.
That's
Um,
fucking insane. It's
yeah.
bullshit. It's
And
bullshit.
this guy, MGTOW Dictionary is the guy we're talking about. MGTOW
Right.
Dictionary was also telling Dippin to send him money so he can arrange for some prostitutes to meet up with him in Amsterdam.
That guy.
And yeah,
Listen, this is how I found out about this guy because Afi's my boy, right? So
yeah,
Afi hit me up and was like, man, he was drinking and shit. He was like, man, I just went at it with this motherfucker, me and MLD, and here's the link. I'm gonna go back on here. So that's how I knew about him because you and Afi was on his channel giving
yeah,
his ass the business. And I
yeah,
remember I listened. I was in the bed listening, and I listened. I just listened even after y'all got off. I listened to the whole thing, and I remember him talking to that guy. He was saying about how I can show you how to do this, and I can show you how to do that, and I can basically to be a big ass fucking trick, basically. But I remember that.
yeah. No, I mean, I don't know if it could be a rumor or whatever, but somebody posted a video saying like these are black pill guys that killed themselves, and then a couple other people reached out to me, said he overdosed on drugs, and could be a rumor, but he's not replying to my emails. I haven't seen anything from him. But I saw a YouTube video saying that he's killed himself, and
That shit is crazy. That shit is poison, man. The
no,
young
I like
kids,
I
if you
said,
watching this, don't believe that shit. Listen, Women are the good thing about women is they're more than one thing that turn them on. They're not black and white. It just
Yeah.
you don't have to be 6 foot. You don't have to have a fucking jawline. You don't have to have abs and six pack. Trust me, I know. If anybody follow my Instagram, I post me with bitches from now and back in the days when I was a tall, a skinny, goofy looking kid. And I had the baddest bitches. So that's bullshit. It's about what you feel about yourself and how you believe in yourself. And if you make a kid, you got to think how powerful this is. We are put here to reproduce. We are on this earth to reproduce. This is the one of the major functions of our bodies to
Yes.
repopulate the earth.
Yes.
And if we can't do that, it fucks with you. So it taxes your mental health. If you look at most guys with mental health issues, and I'm not talking about like schizophrenia and nothing like that, but like depression and anxiety and shit. A lot of this is tied to them not being successful or not feeling loved by the opposite sex. A lot of this, right? Or heartbreak, or the opposite sex taking advantage of them, right? So when you tell a guy your game is over for you, you're not gonna. What do you fuck you think that does? You almost feel like, what am I even living for?
Yeah.
What am I even living for? It's complete bullshit. And like I said, a lot of these kids don't have dads. A lot of these kids don't have strong male figures in their life or even come from a place. And it's not their fault. To come from a place to say, man, you can do great things, the bitches will be at your heels. All you got to do. A lot of guys don't have that, so they on the internet
Yeah.
looking for themselves. And just like how you said, I was doing the same thing. We didn't really have the internet, but I was out in the world trying to find myself. And
Yeah.
and we get caught up in gangster music and shit because this becomes your father and shit. So I could just imagine me at 15 years old going through teenage shit, and I'm listening to this bullshit every day. I probably wouldn't be who I am right now.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, that shit is bullshit, man. That shit is bull.
Yeah.
That shit, I don't like it at all. I went off on him, man.
Yeah.
Um,
No, after I went on his show, I humiliated him because I know I know he's a good talker and a manipulator, but he
right.
couldn't pull that shit on me. I clowned him on his entire fucking show, and the whole manosphere saw this shit and just was clowning him. And since then, he made up the lie, said like I'm a pedophile or some shit, and he won't let
Yeah,
me back on the show.
he'll lie like a motherfucker. Like I have kids, right? So we was talking about. He was like, "Oh, you can't if you have kids and blah blah blah," right? So I'm like, "I got kids." So he's like, "Oh, you're a fucking deadbeat and blah blah blah. You're a fucking deadbeat." Right? He throw out these terms and shit. So I go in there with my kids. I'm like, I'm here with my children right now. What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
Oh, well, you're a baby mom, and oh, you got a baby mom, and that bitch is this and this and that, and you got to lie and cheat. How you claim to be a player, but you have to cheat? So I get my kid's mom. I'm like, hey, do you care if I deal with other women? I put her on the thing. Do you care if I deal with other women? She was like, I don't give a fuck about what you do, right? So now it's like, oh, well, you guys are bad parents because it's 10 p.m. and y'all making so much noise in the house, and the kids got to go to school. I'm like, hey, we're in Florida, and this is when Florida was completely shut down. Hey, we're in Florida, and my kids go to school from home. They don't have to go to school in the
Yeah.
morning. So what the fuck are you talking about now?
Yeah.
It's just, and then he started just making up lies and shit. Just I don't know, dude. Guys
Yeah.
like that are cancer to society, basically.
Yeah,
So
that
if you
guy,
watching
bottom
this,
line is this,
um,
that guy's never been punched in the face before. Um,
obviously,
and he's one of these keyboard warriors. I went up to New York. I was up in New York, right? I have his address too. And I was up there and I met all my bros. And there was like 35 of us. They're like, come on, let's run up on his house. I was like, no, dude, come on, guys, relax. But
yeah,
when he knew I was in New York, he didn't say shit. He didn't say not one thing, and he was afraid. And that's what he is. He's just a little dirty rat hanging around on the internet, and he's mentally diseased. He's clearly a mentally diseased guy. This John Anthony guy yesterday, I think you watched the breakdown because
yeah. I watched that last night from you.
he tried to slander me as well, right? And then he came out recently with some kind of counter video, right? But look at this, right? You tell me this. This is for all the people who kind of still believe that this guy. Somebody sent me this. Check this out. You're gonna tell me this is your big this is your dating guru guy. This is a video of him right here. Dancing up on a man. Literally, watch this shit. There he is.
Oh shit, that's crazy. How do y'all get this shit?
These are people that he fucking scammed money from, and then they took videos from this when they went out training with him. He scammed thousands of dollars out of these guys. He promised them an infield coaching session. He went up, grinded up on a homeless man, got so drunk that he was falling on the floor of a Denny's. Watch this next clip.
What? Like eight. We have some people coming on the way. We're gonna debrief right here. We're gonna debrief.
That's
Like we're gonna hang out with you, right?
yeah, that's crazy.
Depende.
I would. Why are you shaking your head trying to get us in now? Of course I would.
That's all I'm gonna play. There's
crazy.
you can see all the full footage on Modern Life Dating Instagram. You can see it all. But again, you know, like a lot of these guys. Did you watch my recent commercial, the one that I put out?
Yeah, that was cool, man. I need to get up with you. You got some ideas. I do want to, you know, if I'll pay you to, because I need some game about something about like this, like marketing, like.
Yeah, I got you.
Talk to you about it behind the scene. I'll pay you to do it to lace me up and everything. But
For sure. But like I said, there was symbolism in that video, and all those people that I mentioned, Anthony Johnson, MGTOW Dictionary, and this guy, all they want to do is fucking throw lies at me. But I got this right here, and you can't stop the truth. You can sit there. Don't try and fucking ruin my life with lies when I can destroy you with the truth.
right,
And I
right,
said,
right.
I played this guy like a fool because I knew that he would react like this. I had the fucking the proof that he was hiring prostitutes and putting them in clubs and telling guys, oh, just go say these pickup lines to this girl. Oh, wow, you're so cool. This girl's going to go fuck you, man. You're a real alpha male. You did it, bro. And he would be fucking these girls before he sent them to the club as well. So the students would be fucking the girls that he fucked.
Oh shit.
So I put that all out, and I knew all these guys are dirty rats, right? And I'll clean them out one by one. I don't give a fuck. It's not about starting YouTube drama or anything, but you know, if you can see these guys, first of all, they attacked me first, and second of all, I can tell I'm not fucking some idiot. I'm a very smart guy, and I could tell when a guy's a piece of shit just by looking at the guy. You got the street smarts too. You could like, just
Right,
be like,
yeah,
okay,
of course.
this guy's fucking dirtbag, you know?
Of course. Of
So
course.
that's one of the things. I'm gonna read this final super chat. Juan Doe, €2 says, "Is this your king?" Yeah, exactly. That guy. That's your Alpha International 1300. I've fucked 1300 girls. Alpha Playboy. Good shit, man. So, anyways, guys, that's gonna do us for today. You can find King Dre at his website right there, kingdreism.com. What's your YouTube? How can they find you on YouTube?
Just King Dre. Type in King Dre on YouTube. KING space Dre.
And your TikTok?
My TikTok is King Dreism.
King Dreism.
Yeah, KINGDREISM on TikTok and Instagram.
Good stuff, man. Thanks for coming on, bro. Guys, we'll be back here. Thank you so much. Guys, we'll be back here tomorrow, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Don't forget, if you want to learn from King Dre and other guys like myself, where we talk about all this stuff, go to Masculine Empowerment Network right now. Get on the waiting list. And we'll be you'll be seeing more of King Dre on this channel. Hopefully you can come on Dude Party in the future.
Oh yeah, just let me know. Send me the just let me know. Hit me up. I'm down, bro. I'm down.
All right, guys. You guys have a wonderful day. Peace out.
All right, appreciate